And hey, you know what? For the last episode, I ended up putting a lemon drop pepper in with this same kind of recipe, and I have another one here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in because I just really like that last sauce, the last salsa I made. You may choose to add, an additional small pepper of something that's of like medium to high heat. The lemon drop pepper is slightly hotter than a jalapeno, kind of like I don't know what to compare it to, but it's like a serrano, but not as harsh, something like that. A Thai chili, perhaps. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. Went ahead and added the fresh coriander into here, or cilantro. Coriander and cilantro are the same thing. It just has two different names for some reason. And this is ready now. It looks at least almost that way. Might cook down a bit more of that sauce in there, but then I'm going to put it into the blender. And from there, it's going to need to go into a jar. So I'm going to start getting those sterilized. I also just kind of whipped up another batch of salsa. I used all yellow tomatoes for this one, and this is the one that I'm going to put the lemon drop hot peppers into. I might throw it like a jalapeno in there too. By the way, this one I think is called what you call a black jalapeno, kind of an exotic variety. That's not rotten. That's just how it's supposed to look. But yeah, but I think I gotta get the jars sterilized at this point because I gotta have something to put the jalapeno salsa into, when I go to start this one. So I better get to that. Here's salsa number 2 cooking with the yellow tomatoes and the yellow hot peppers, and I ended up adding an additional jalapeno just to give it a bit more green in contrast to the yellow. And I blended up the previous salsa that's ready to go into a jar, and I also just cleaned the jars. I think I just cleaned 3 of them, and I should probably mention it's good to have a good clean sponge when you do this. Maybe you could use a new one that you could set aside just for canning. I think that's probably a good way to go. But right now I'm going to spoon this one into a jar, get that situated, and maybe at that point, actually before I spoon it into a jar, I'm going to wait for this. Let's see if it's boiling. Yeah, that's oh man, that's hot. Alright, that's boiling, and I'm going to go ahead and just sterilize the jars right now. I'm going to throw the glass jars in there and sterilize them for just like a minute or so. Not very long at all. Maybe even a few seconds would do it, but I need to sterilize them right now. Oh, and since I don't have the canning rack, I'm once again going to use rags at the bottom so the jars aren't touching the bottom of this pot. It seemed to work well last time, and another time that I ended up canning, and so I feel confident about that. Let me find a sterile utensil to go ahead and use to push that down in there. And let me get one more rag. Yeah, I'm going to get another rag, and then I'm going to set those jars in there. So I'm using the jar lifter now to put these in the actual water. And I'm not sure if I'm using this upside down or not. I think maybe this is the right way to use it. And I'm just setting these in here. I don't know if it matters if they touch each other or not. It's only going to be there for a little bit. But be careful putting it in here. I just kind of like burnt the fuck out of myself trying to get that in. Let the water fill up the jar and let it just kind of sink to the bottom. I tried to like stuff it down in there and nearly burnt the fuck out of my hand, so be careful about that. So I sterilized the jars, and I've already put the first salsa into this jar, and I just wanted to tell you, just be Be careful to make sure that the rims of the jars are clean where the band is going to go. And some people talk about like running a sterilized like fork or something around the edge of the rim to get air bubbles out. I don't think that's necessary for me in this scenario here, but you want to leave about an inch on the top for the canning. And yeah, and I got a little bit extra. I'll maybe save that to taste it later after these have all been canned. And this is I got this one going over here. It's looking just about ready. I mean, I'll cook off a little bit more of that water, that tomato juice, and I also added cilantro to this one. I just kind of wanted to see what that was like. It's probably going to make it taste a lot better. And but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and maybe start cutting up ingredients for the next batch, which I'm going to try to use some orange tomatoes this time. Turns out a lot of these are pretty rotten. You know, I got this yesterday and most of them were already rotting, and as you can see there's like liquid down in the bottom. That's all pretty gross stuff down there, and tomatoes, once they start rotting, they go pretty fast. And I didn't put any of these in the fridge because once you put tomatoes in the fridge, they you know, that affects the texture, and it really kind of ruins the tomato in a way. So, but I am gonna be able to salvage enough for at least one more salsa, and I hope to use, like I said, orange tomatoes, and use some of these carrot hot peppers, which to kind of go along with the theme of color, matching color, and maybe I'll add some other peppers too, I don't know, but these are fucking spicy, so that might be enough for one. Sure to add scorpion pepper. I already put one large one into this next salsa, and I'm going to put another smaller one because I'm actually going to have more than what one will fit into one jar, so I want it to be appropriately spicy. I think one Trinidad scorpion per jar is enough to make an extremely hot salsa, and I don't think you need any more than that. So yeah, I will be adding this to the next salsa. Here's the orange salsa, just getting ready to be thrown into the blender. It's quite pretty. I added, I think I threw in, besides the carrot pepper, I threw in a little bit of jalapeno and just a tad bit of habanero in there.